WWBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say. I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary.
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the Intern.
How you doing, guys?
I thought you were sandbagging me for a second there.
Oh, no.
And Nick Cataldi.
Hey.
Pushing the buttons, turning the dials, keeping this on the air. Cheering himself twice. He's really enthused.
I didn't hear the first one.
He's enthused.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, apparently the ears are the first one to go, Nick.
Huh?
The ears are the first one to go?
What?
We got to drop.
Gosh, it's early.
You dropped it all right, but that's okay.
Yeah. And shattered.
And we've got a lot of knowledge to drop your way here on this Elimination Chamber weekend and WWE Network debut weekend. That's right, this coming Monday, it's finally a happening, as the late Gorilla Monsoon would say. The WWE Network, 9 a.m. this coming Monday. It'll be available to the U.S. WWE audiences. I don't know, you getting it, Lucas?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Are you getting... I set that whole thing up about the network, and you were... I don't know where you were. You were studying your notes, I see.
Sorry. I didn't get to before. Yeah, I'm excited for the network. I hope my brother buys it for me as an early birthday present, but, you know, that's a drop for you, Rocco. So if you don't, I'm going to come into your room with a baseball bat, and you can do the rest of the math. Are you excited for Ron?
I was until I heard that. Yeah. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's the whole winter blues thing, because here we are in late February, and I don't know. I'm feeling about the network in general. I don't know what it is, or maybe just about WWE in general. I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming a curmudgeon in my old age.
Well, at least it's not Impact. Ugh, that is a slop fest.
Yeah, do we even want to get,
don't. Please don't. Please don't.
No MVP, no Dixie Carter, no, nothing?
No.
No? Little Magnus, little Gunner, no?
No.
Bobby Roode, no?
No. You're sounding like Stewie from that one episode of Family Guy. When Brian
was my voice going up? Was it really?
When Brian goes on The Bachelor, he's like, huh, you gonna write a book? Huh?
Yeah, the whole novel thing. No, we don't need to go into that. All right, well... I guess we'll get into the breaking news that came last night, in fact. The Hulkster back in the WWE. That's right, Hulk Hogan.
Who?
Is good job, Nick Bockwinkel.
Yeah. I like that. That was good.
Yeah, I actually got a little bit of sleep, so I'm kind of somewhat on point. A little bit.
I like that.
WWE issuing a press release yesterday to announce the WWE return of Hulk Hogan.
Sorry, what?
Here it is here. WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan returning to WWE, or has returned to WWE, and will host WrestleMania 30 on Sunday, April 6th at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Hogan will make his long-awaited return to WWE this Monday on Raw, which airs live at 8 p.m. Eastern on USA Network. He will also appear on WWE Raw Backstage Pass, airing live on WWE Network on Monday night at 11:05 p.m. Eastern. And it goes into a lengthy kind of detail about his career. Larger-than-life icon, one of the biggest names in WWE history. January 23rd, 84, Hulkamania officially born, beating the Iron Sheik, Madison Square Garden, that whole deal. Headlined WrestleMania 3, successfully defended the title against Andre the Giant in front of 93,173. or 78,000 something if you want to go by the actual attendance. But hyperbole, it's a wonderful thing. Went on to win 6 WWE championships, starred in movies, TV shows, and became an idol to a vast legion of fans he dubbed Hulkamaniacs. Hogan inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005 by Hollywood legend Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, they brought in Stallone to get the to get that mainstream Hollywood pub, you know.
Oh, good.
I mean, they've done that quite a few times over the last few years.
Thunder Lips.
His last appearance in WWE was in December 2007, where he appeared at the 15th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. Vince McMahon having to say, "We're thrilled that Hulk Hogan has returned home to WWE." Okay, maybe he didn't say it quite like that, but pretty close. It's fitting to have him help us celebrate 30 years of WrestleMania and usher in a new era within the launch of WWE Network. I don't know. It's hard to read a Vince McMahon quote and not do a Vince voice. I don't know.
I still remember when he was a good guy announcer back in the 70s.
And the Hulkster, words cannot express how excited I am to be back in the WWE family. I only have one question for the WWE Universe. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild as the host of WrestleMania 30? That was clearly edited because there were about 6 or 7 brothers in that statement that obviously weren't in there. What you gonna do, brother? When a few of those were taken out. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's good to have him back. He is kind of the I mean, you want to talk about the face of WWE? Yeah. I don't know. I guess, I mean, it's a good thing as long as they don't have him competing in a match. That's my biggest concern.
Well, he's 109 years old. I think it'd be a good idea not to.
Well, maybe if they put him in a match with The Undertaker, then the combined age would be 109 years old. Because by that point, yes, Hogan would be 60 and The Undertaker would be 49. Wow, that is good rapid-fire math. It was almost as if that was set up, even though it totally wasn't. Well played,
Sure
Nick.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't, folks. All kidding aside.
Yeah, he just
Very
pulled
good.
an arbitrary number, and I somehow sewed it together and had it make sense.
What a talent.
That's what I do. At least that's what I try to do. All right. Nick, if you could do me a favor and let's actually, we'll go to the phones on the other side because I want to make sure we get the full segment on it here. We're gonna talk a little bit we'll talk to Rob about a local thing coming up. We'll get to that on the other side of the timeout, so that way we'll get everything all squared away. Make sure he gets the full amount of time. I don't want to be up against it, so we'll go to the phones after the break. There you go, Nick.
Jeez. Okay. I'm getting better at this.
Baby steps.
You didn't answer very quickly. You didn't say, I pay you a compliment. You don't give me one. All right, for you. 1490 WBCB. No, I'm sorry, it's not my show.
On the AM. It's my best Merrill impression. I hope he doesn't fire me.
I think you have to worry about me, well, first. It's a pecking order as far as the line. But yes, you don't want to cross the boss. That's kind of obvious. All right, lots more news to get into. Also finding out this past Tuesday, Nelson Frasier. You might remember him as in the WWF as Mabel.
Yes, he died.
Or in... Way to take away my build-up, you jerk.
I owed you one.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mabel, Viscera, Big Daddy V. He died this past Tuesday at the age of 43. His agent, Eric Sims, announcing the news on Twitter, stating that Frasier's wife cited a massive heart attack as the cause of death. Now, back in September of 2011, I was able to get a brief interview with Frasier, courtesy of George's Cards and Collectibles Sign-A-Mania event, and I'll have that interview for you later in the program. Just kind of a little look back and a little tribute to King Mabel,
rather
to
large
Big Daddy V. Oh, yeah, 6'8", 500 pounds, although, I mean, by the time he had passed, I mean, he had dropped about 100, and that was, I mean, obviously due to health concerns, but I guess it was too little too late. I mean, given as big as he was during his career. And, I mean, there was a lot of Facebook feedback on it, going all over the place, really. Talking about, well, I'll pull it up here. Ron chiming in. It seems like the overweight wrestlers are dying at young ages. And he goes on to ask, how many remember Umaga? He also died young of a heart attack, as well as Yokozuna. And I had to kind of set the record straight a little bit on that. I mean, Yokozuna, yeah, he was 34 when he had passed. Umaga, though, I mean, his size may have been part of the problem, but his official cause of death was acute toxicity. Basically a drug overdose.
How cute was it? Get it cute about.
That's a little.
Oh, mercy.
I'm not wasting any more good material on you two.
I'm waiting to see when you have it.
Yeah, you haven't been. You've just been wasting material. I think you're just blind firing, to be honest.
Kind of like the WWE creative staff. Yeah. Buzzing! There you go.
Or me when I'm trying to do a stand-up.
I don't like you two guys anymore. I'm going home.
All right, we'll cut to break, and I'll take over at the board.
Did he just get, stood up at the prom? What is going on with this guy?
I have no idea.
Never went to a prom.
I can see why.
No,
I can't imagine why.
I didn't care.
Oh, that'll do it. All right, we'll talk Elimination Chamber. That's something else. Some notes from that. We'll have our predictions starting to go wrong later in the program. Because I just realized I didn't write them down here, so I'll have to do that during the break as well. They're up here in my brain, but I've got to have things written down because, again, my old age, I tend to forget things. I got to have these things on the record. One thing that won't be on the record, well, it won't be available on the WWE Network, is the Chamber pay-per-view. It's not going to debut there. So if you're thinking, I'll just save the $60 and buy the network the next day and get the Elimination Chamber. No, not so fast. They know you're going to pull that fast one. WWE telling James Caldwell of PWTorch.com that Sunday's event will not be available on the network until 30 days after it airs. So you got to wait till March 24 if you want to take not freebie, but get Elimination Chamber on the cheap. And then you've got 4 weeks worth of Raws, SmackDowns, and all that other network content to sift through. And we'll get more into that coming up a little bit later as well. Another interesting note about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, it's not going to be carried by the Dish Network.
Wow.
I know, you're riveted.
No, it's not that. I was tired. I'm not bored. I'm just tired.
I see how it is.
Long week.
Who are you telling? Satellite company Dish Network opted not to carry tomorrow's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in reaction to the release of the WWE Network. Dish issuing a pointed statement to ZapToIt.com concerning their decision to drop the pay-per-view, saying, quote, WWE has chosen to launch a 24/7 online network without its TV partners that includes all of its pay-per-view events. As WWE enters the increasingly fragmented media world by themselves, Dish will continue to consider the value of WWE pay-per-view on an event-by-event basis. Dish continues to provide a variety of WWE programming, including WWE Raw on USA, SmackDown on Sci-Fi, Main Event on Ion, and Total Divas on E! At this time, WWE pay-per-view events are not available on Dish. And social media being the bear that it is, Dish had this to add on its Facebook page. WWE is not willing to readjust. I had it here and then lost it. Not willing to adjust their pay-per-view costs to satellite and cable companies, which is unfair to their customers. We need to refocus our efforts to support partners that better serve Dish customers. Other satellite and cable companies, including DirecTV, have also expressed they may no longer provide WWE pay-per-view events in the future. To say the least, verbal shots have been fired. All right, let's take care of a timeout. I'll come back and apparently be on the board since Nick's going home.
I changed my mind. I'm going to do you a favor and stay.
Okay.
Doing you a favor and I'm
doing me a favor. Okay. And we'll also get to... We'll get to Rob Talbot, who's he's involved with a local wrestling event that's going on tonight, and they've there's going to be some benefits of the Wounded Warrior Project. He's going to talk all about the fundraiser for that. That's the event going on at the YMCA just around the corner from the station here. We'll get Rob on the other side. And we'll also have our predictions certain to go wrong. A lot still to do here. We've got the Mabel interview from back in 2011, tribute to his passing. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
In fact, I don't even need the network. Just give me a WrestleMania anthology and we'll call it even.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here alongside the constantly marking out Lucas the Intern.
Yeah, that's
and trust me, I have the WrestleMania anthology. You're better off with the network. Even as mad as I am about it, that was just the entrance musics were dubbed over. The commentary, a lot of it was dubbed over. It was Vince kind of saying, well, I know I should put this out here, but I don't want to pay for it, or I don't want to pay a lot for it. So, I mean, people bought in, and then they realized what they got, and were just like, ugh. You know, where's Slick's music? Where's the Big Boss Man's music? Where's Dusty Rhodes' music? All of them were just Demolition. All of them were just dubbed over with generic kind of various Jim Johnson productions because they didn't want to pay the rights for, or, you know, pay the fees for the rights to the various themes. And that would be an even bigger theme, you know, in the later years, you know, in the early 2000s when they went to, you know, The Undertaker, there's no American Badass, no Rollin'. It's just, you know, it's that whole you're going to pay. They use that for that entire run. Just to give you a few examples.
Edge's current theme song, the one by, I don't know, it's called Metalingus. It was like the On This Day one. Now, I looked for it on iTunes, and it's not under any WWE thing. Even for the Hall of Fame, it was the 90s one, like the You Think You Know Me.
Yeah, the initial one when he was part of the Brood for a little bit and all that, and coming in through the crowd. All right, let's go to the crowd. Let's go to the phones, and
this guy's really doing a good thing for Wounded Warrior Project. His name's Rob Talbot. We like to put him on the line. How you doing, Rob?
I'm good, sir. How about yourself today?
Good.
Not too bad. He wanted to do the intro, so I wanted to give the intern a little chance to get his feet wet. Hey, what's going on, Rob? Let's talk this. Now, this is over at the Lower Bucks YMCA here, right around the corner in Fairless Hills on South Oxford Valley Road. Let us know a little bit more about the project that you've got going on.
Well, at the project we have going on is I just got out of the Marine Corps. I served over 8 years in the infantry. Almost half that time was served in Iraq.
And we appreciate your service. Thank you.
I became injured due to certain events that took place. And I'm 100% disabled because of the conflict. And the Wounded Warrior Project is a nonprofit organization that has really helped out me and my family, where they saved our lives. They saved my life, that's for sure. And I had an idea to try and raise money to give back to my fellow brothers and sisters. So we've been raising money through donations and raffles. I'm a season ticket holder to the Philadelphia Flyers, and they have been sponsoring us by giving us autographed merchandise and things like that to give away.
Okay.
And tonight at the wrestling event, we are going to be giving away a lot of good event items. Like, there's a game on the 27th, Flyers versus the Sharks. One of the raffle winners tonight will receive 2 tickets to the game, along with an autographed item, Braden Chen puck. We have a couple player pictures we're giving away that are autographed, and then just a bunch of also memorabilia from the Philadelphia Flyers.
All right, and these raffles are all going to be at the UWF show tonight over in Fairless Hills.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's wow. Just to give you a little more information about the event, there's a meet and greet going on. I believe it's 6:30, and then bell time is set for 7:45.
It's 6:45 meet and greet, 7:30 bell time, sir.
Oh, okay. I must have an old poster I'm looking at here from. I guess maybe it's been changed a couple times since then.
But there is one awesome thing about what we're doing with tonight, because it's tying into the game we're giving away. The winners, when they go to the Wells Fargo on the 27th, myself and my team will be set up at Xfinity Live during the game, and we'll be giving away even more good prizes. So anyone who enters the raffle tonight will still be in there for Xfinity Live, where I have a leather jacket, Philadelphia Flyers logo, signed by a majority of the original Broad Street Bullies and most of the entire current roster.
Wow.
There's a Wayne Simmons autographed jersey, Jeremy Roenick signed stick, and a bunch of other good prizes that will be given away at Xfinity. So those events tie hand in hand.
And that's prior to the Flyers game coming up on the 27th. That's what, this Thursday night?
Yes, sir. Well, we'll be there set up before the game, during the game, and after the game.
Wow, that's terrific. I mean,
and
bear with me. I'm kind of lost for words at the moment. I mean,
well, I used my season tickets along with the donations the Flyers give us with a bunch of autograph stuff to raise this money for the Wounded Warrior Project. 100% of everything we raise goes to the project, and to date, we have just cleared $5,000.
Oh, that's terrific.
That is, wow.
That's absolutely fantastic. So, and will you be in attendance tonight at the UWF show?
Yes, sir, I will. And a few of the team members that work with me will be there, all in Flyer gear, trying to raise some money for some fellow hurt veterans.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, can people get tickets at the door to this?
Yes, sir. Anyone who shows up at the door at the YMCA, they can purchase tickets right there on the spot to see the show. And if they're interested in supporting the veterans, they can come over and talk to any one of us.
Well, that I gotta tell you, because I have friends of family who have been in the military, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing, because it really is a hard thing for wounded warriors to get better, and it really is a good thing that you guys are doing. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, sir. Like, myself and the rest of the team members from the college, we are very passionate about this because we are either veterans still on active duty or just other students that truly support us 100%.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, that's wow. Like I said, I'm a little in awe. Just everything, just kind of soaking it all in at once here. It's very rarely I'm left speechless.
It's a lot of stuff that we do, and we're just trying to help out veterans like myself and the people that work with me and all the other men and women that have been overseas.
All right, so check it out. You got two chances. Tonight, right at the UWF show over on South Oxford Valley Road in Fairless Hills, pretty much right a stone's throw here from WBCB. And that's going to be later this evening. You can check them out. Or if you're down in the Xfinity Live area this Thursday night, pop on over to Xfinity Live before, or if you don't have a ticket to the Flyers game, during, and stop by after the game too. And they've got more raffles going away. Wow, a leather jacket autographed by most of the Broad Street Bullies, and the current roster.
My brother would love the Wayne Simmons jersey. He's a huge Simmons fan.
Yes, sir. It's a lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, definitely show up to check it all out. Looking forward to it, and I'm sure it'll be a fun show tonight. I know your friend of mine, Nubius Black, is part of the card there, and
Nubius Black, Moose Moretti, and Rocco Motor. Always a good time when those guys get together.
It's always interesting, to say the least.
That's a politically correct way of saying it.
Well, politically correct's what I do. I mean, I'm running a radio show here. I can't be politically incorrect. I mean, this isn't extreme wrestling radio or something like that.
The Rush Limbaugh show.
Well, you definitely have a point there, sir.
Oh, Rob, thank you again for your service, and I'm looking forward to hopefully great things for both these events and more things to come in the future.
Thank you very much, sir, and I appreciate you giving me time to say what we're doing on the air.
No problem. Hey, anything to help out? To help out the military, help out the wounded warriors. I know some people think I'm a little heartless on the show here, especially our intern, but I got to have some good PR there every once in a while.
There might actually be something beating in there, Fearon. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I know. It grew 3 sizes that day, just like this. Yeah, I know. We're 2 months past the Grinch. I'm throwing that out there. Oh, what a mess. Rob Talbot, thank you again so much for the call. Greatly appreciate it.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi. Well said. Wow. How do you follow that up?
You don't.
You don't. Yeah, exactly.
Well, just go off the air now.
No. Well, I don't know. Here we go. We'll go from one emotional thing to another. We'll go into the. As I had said earlier in the show, in case you had missed it, Nelson Frasier, better known as Mabel, Viscera, Big Daddy V, passed away this past Tuesday at the age of 43, just 4 days after his birthday.
Yeah.
Oof. Just makes it even a little more difficult to take in. But I was fortunate enough about a year and a half ago to get a brief interview with. I'm just going to go with Mabel. He's got so many different names. We'll go with Mabel. Although or Nelson Frasier, wherever we want to go. But either I had the opportunity, thanks to our good friends over at George's Cards and Collectibles. They had their Sign-A-Mania event going on, and he was gracious enough to give me a couple of minutes. And we've got that interview for you here. If you want to pull up the CD, Nick, we've got the interview right here. 1490 WBCB, welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly. Fearon Derry here at Sign-A-Mania 7 with, some might know him as King Mabel or Mabel. Some might know him as Viscera. Others might know him as Big Daddy V. Either way, Nelson Frasier, welcome to the program.
Glad to be here.
A couple of quick questions for you. Well, obviously I mentioned a couple of different gimmicks, characters that you had over the years. Which of those was your favorite?
The world's largest love machine, Viscera. I got to kiss those beautiful women and got paid good money to do it. I would have paid them to do that job. That was the greatest.
Definitely can't say. Can you run off a list of some of those for those who don't remember?
Trish Stratus, Lillian Garcia, Candice Michelle, Maria. I mean, you can go down the list, man. The Love Machine had them all, and they were all great.
Can't say I'd argue with that. Absolutely. Wow. You also had a lot of notable matches, a few title runs throughout your career. Is there any particular match that you had that you liked more than any other?
Yeah, to be the second person to ever pin The Undertaker on a pay-per-view at the King of the Ring 95, that was awesome. So, and I think that upset the world. So, that's got to be, I think, my biggest victory ever. I mean, because The Undertaker's like unbeatable now, and he was even more unbeatable when I beat him. So I'm happy with that.
I actually remember that. I was in attendance for that at the Spectrum back in June of 95. That takes me back to my childhood days a little bit there.
You must be the one that threw that trash in my face. Are you the one? I've been looking for that guy.
I don't have that kind of an arm. Now, I was way up in the nosebleed seats there. If I had that kind of arm, I wouldn't be doing radio. I'd be in the NFL or something like that.
When you find out who did it, you let me know. I'm going to kick his ass.
Absolutely will. All right, looks like we're just about wrapping up here at Sign-A-Mania. I want to thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it, Nelson. Absolutely.
All right, I just want to send a shout-out to all the fans in the Philadelphia area. You guys are the greatest.
Thank you much. They most certainly are, and we greatly appreciate it. And a shame to lose another notable name in the world of wrestling. I mean, absolute class guy. I got to talk with him for 2 minutes, but it felt absolutely fantastic. Like I said, real great guy, and an absolute shame.
Guys you'd want to have like a drink with after, like. If you ever met, if I ever met a wrestler, I'd always be like, you guys want to get out of here after this? What are we doing after? I'd love to hang out with some of these guys. Just go through the mindset of how these guys work.
You'd of course be having, a soda or a glass of skim milk or something like that. Of course, yeah. It's gotta keep things into perspective. Of course, it's usually how we do things here. At least that's how we try to. All right, so we've got all kinds of other news. Let's talk a little bit about the do we want to talk about the network now, and then we'll go to the other side and get we'll talk. Yeah, we'll get the network on the other side, and as well as our predictions starting to go wrong. we'll get through a few of the phone calls first. We'll take care of that. Yeah, clear the board, and that way we've got. We'll punch up the.
Gettner.
Yeah, we'll bring the. There we go. Got to. Yeah, let's pull one of the lines up. Which line do we want here?
I had to show something. Yeah.
Let's see. A little technical. Let's see here. Which line do we got here? We got. Is that Ed?
Number 2.
Yes.
Ed, what's going on?
I'll make this quick before there's we can follow tonight with AJ Styles, Matt Hardy, and a couple others.
That's right. They're at the Armory Guard there, right in Northeast Philly, just outside of Ben Salem.
Yes.
Southampton Road.
And there's Extreme Rising coming up next weekend.
Yeah, that's next Saturday down at the old ECW arena, and I will actually be in attendance for that. That'll be my first foray into the old ECW Alhambra 2300 arena. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, from what I've heard, I'm apparently going to need it. Or at least I'll be using whatever luck I have to protect the kid here, since he's coming with me.
Yeah.
And
he doesn't. In case he did. Yeah.
I know.
Something too.
Sorry, what was that, Ed?
I thought Center was having something in May.
Yeah, WWE. I think they're coming to the Izod Center sometime soon.
Yes.
Yeah, I forget exactly where. I think they Extreme Rules. That's what it is, of course. Yeah, the Extreme Rules pay-per-view is going to be at the Izod Center Sunday, May 4th.
Where's the Izod Center?
That is in North Jersey. That's right next to MetLife Stadium, where they had WrestleMania, and where I got to do interviews for Access last year.
I would have loved it.
I predict that the Philly show is coming.
Yeah, they're going to be in the. I know they're coming to Trenton coming up in March. Not sure when they're coming to Philly again. They always tend to keep that a secret.
I predict it.
Oh, there we go. Bad enough we got that little furry rodent predicting 6 more weeks of winter. Now we got, and we got more snow coming on Wednesday. What a mess. All right, Ed.
Have a nice day.
Thanks. I'm up against it. Thanks so much for the call. Greatly appreciate it. All right. We'll get. We got Nubius on the line. We'll get him on the other side, as well as our predictions starting to go wrong for Elimination Chamber. We'll talk a little more WWE Network. Want to make sure Nubius gets his time. He gets a little ornery if he doesn't get the full allotted time. So got to make sure. Plus, he's not a guy that you want to make mad. He's a friend of mine, and I'm damn glad to have that happen. All right, we'll take care of some business, come back. Still plenty to do. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, February 22. On this date in 1993, WWF Monday Night Raw aired live from New York City. In the main event, The Undertaker defeated Skinner. Of note, the match ran longer than the allotted television time, so the result of the match was given the following week. On this date in 1997, ECW held its CyberSlam 97 Supercard. In the main event, Sabu pinned Chris Candido. On this date in 1998, WCW held its Super Brawl 8 pay-per-view. In the main event, Sting pinned Hollywood Hogan to win the vacant WCW World Heavyweight Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, February 22.
Hi, this is Jim Cornette, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the Intern and Nick Cataldi. Talking wrestling. That's what we do. Better late than never. Yeah, so we're talking all kinds of stuff with wrestling. Elimination Chamber. We'll Yeah, we'll go to the phones, then we'll give our predictions certain to go wrong for the pay-per-view. Let's get the one, the only Nubius Black on the line. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, young man? You guys hurt my feelings, you and your little junior sidekick.
We hurt your feelings?
How did I hurt your feelings?
You hurt my
I took the break first to make sure you got your time. How'd we hurt your feelings?
How can we follow that with the Wounded Warriors Project? Do you know who got that Wounded Warriors Project up and running at that show? That's a Piggy.
Oh, goodness.
Wait, what?
Yeah, shocking, right? I'm a nice guy. And I believe in everything that they're doing. They're going to do a good job, and we're going to go out there tonight and try to do just as good a job. You can come out there and see little Guido. He's going to be there doing his thing.
Yeah, Nunzio, little Guido. Yeah, I've had him on this program before. Real great guy.
Great guy. We're going to have, the old stalwarts. If you want to go see the old guys, you got C-Rob, a local guy, coming back, making his return back into the square circle. And if all that stuff bothers you can always get a ticket to the Wounded Warriors or watch him see how far I can stick my opponent's head inside of a chihuahua's butt.
Never a lack for something to say, although usually leaving me speechless, the one, the only Nubius Black.
And I'm just trying to help you out.
I appreciate it. Sometimes I need a little help. I mean, how else would I have lasted this long?
Out of your class to the show, because you're such classy guys.
I try. It's a challenge.
Yeah, I felt, condolences to Nelson Frasier's family. He was one of the few brothers that was up there and running at that time, if you remember. It wasn't too many, so that's straight up.
Yeah, Vince was not a fan of them.
Yep.
Still isn't, as some would say.
He did a great job for what they kept giving him, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, when you're walking out there clad in purple and gold, which, oddly enough, are the colors for WrestleMania 30 this year.
Very much so. He looks just like the damn logo. But yeah, that's pretty sad. He was a young cat. But, my heart goes out to his family and his fans. So I'm really a nice cat. I'm not as mean and evil as you say I am. And, and if you get lonely tomorrow, if you give me your address, I'll drop by and hang with you.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm you've known me long enough to know that I'm Mahoney busting when it comes to that stuff.
That's all I got to say, brother. I'll check you out.
All right, sounds like a plan. Nubius Black, he'll be at the UWF show tonight. Looking forward to that. There's so much going on tonight. I mean, that's what I love about the local scene in Philly. It seems like there's always a great show going on. We've got the UWF and what they're doing with the Wounded Warrior Project. Ed mentioned Ring of Honor's in town tonight. I mean, the Monster Factory's doing great stuff. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, next week you've got Extreme Rising here. It's great to be in this area. If you're not, what the hell are you doing? Get over here. Seriously. Dan from Chicago, fly in. Something. I don't know. All right, let's talk Elimination Chamber. Get our predictions certain to go wrong here. First of all, the pre-show. Talk about falling down as far as the All-Star panel. For the Rumble, we get Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. This month, Mark Henry, Rey Mysterio, and The Miz. Can't really say much more B show than that, can we? Or maybe B. Never mind. The pre-show match: Goldust and Cody Rhodes against Curtis Axel and Ryback. Well, at least they're featuring some tag matches. Yeah, there's something to be said for that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure which way. Well, both of these guys seem to have fallen swift and quickly as far as popularity. Well, not popularity, but as far as wins, as far as being near the upper echelon, as far as the tag title scene is concerned. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to go with the Brotherhood in this. Goldust and Cody Rhodes. Me too. Oh, you're going with them also, Lucas? All right. Got to keep notes of these things. That's kind of what I'm doing here. All right, and then you've got the, speaking of tag teams, one that's broken up. The now former primetime players. Titus O'Neil against Darren Young. Where are you going with this one?
Young.
You're going Darren Young? Oddly enough, I'm going Titus O'Neil. Talk about a switch. Inside jokes are horrible. All right, the WWE tag titles on the line. The middle-aged outlaws against the Usos. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that this thing is short-lived, although when you're Triple H's friend for life. Kind of like the NWO.
Yeah.
All right, the Intercontinental title. Big E defending against Swagger. Apparently he's lost his Langston somewhere along the way. He's just Big E now.
Langston.
You're thinking Big E keeps the title, so am I. No real reason to give it to Jack Swagger here, even though Cesaro is getting a monster push at the moment. Batista against Alberto Del Rio. If Del Rio wins this, I'd be absolutely shocked, but it wouldn't surprise me. Well, they've got to make Batista look strong because right now they're in damage control with him.
Yeah,
they're in huge damage control.
Who's going to win?
Going with Batista on that. And then the two biggies, both involving 6 men. The 6-man tag match. The Shield against the Wyatt family. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns against Bray Wyatt.
I'm going to go against you, and I'm going to pick the Shield. Because I like Roman Reigns. I could care. And Seth Rollins. I just don't like Dean Ambrose.
I think he made Extreme Kyle down in South Philly a little annoyed at that. I can hear him. Yeah, I can hear him fuming from here, or from whatever he's working on.
I'm not doubting him as a wrestler.
Following the buzzards.
I'm saying he's a great wrestler. I don't like him. I can admit he's a good wrestler. I just don't like him.
You just don't like him. Okay, fair enough. I'm following the buzzards. I'm going with the Wyatt family. And that's about all I've got for that.
Yeah,
and then the Elimination
Chamber.
There's a cadence and a pacing to this. Who's such a stand-up comedy fan and who would know about like timing and pacing and cadence and whatnot. Here I am trying to set up the main event, and you're just immediately, here's who I think's going to win.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just saying it right now. I don't mess around. I just get the job done. This is my new thing I'm doing, okay?
Lucas the intern, he gets the job done.
Gimmick.
It's about right up there with William Regal, a real man's man.
That was Steven Regal.
Or Steven Regal. They changed it back and forth so much.
How is this happening? How am I outsmarting you? This is not good. You need that network more than I do.
You're implying that I'm that concerned. I didn't even want to ask. I interviewed Regal. I didn't want to ask him about that. He doesn't even want to talk about that. That's better left in the past. The most I remember that is the wood over his shoulder and the squeezing of the orange juice.
I remember those promos too.
Yeah, and the song, which of course WWE had to put on their anthology.
Man's man.
Yeah, no, we're not. This is not sing along with the god awful song. Definitely not doing that.
Who do you think's going to win?
Oh, that's right. The match that I was going to set up and you just completely undercut me. Well, I'm going to give it another go here since, yeah, whatever. Randy Orton defending the WWE World, All Heavyweight, All Everything Global Championship against John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Christian, and Cesaro in an Elimination Chamber match. Now, I think the wrestler to look out for in this one is Christian. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. I couldn't do it. I tried.
I want to say something. I think that this whole one more match thing, I mean, they might give it to him, but it's not likely. I mean, the kid, he's just trying to, I almost called him the kid. The guy is trying he's trying to do an edge, okay? He's trying to be like
40-year-old kid?
Yeah, okay. Look, I feel like he's trying to do the same thing Edge did because he's his best friend. Why doesn't he get the same ending? It's like you're sort of chasing a cheetah, I guess you would say with this one. It was a bad analogy, but like you're chasing something you might not be able to grab. Most likely you won't be able to grab. That was
kind of like you with laughs on this show.
Oh, yeah. Or Nick. Nick's even worse than I am. I'm more likely to grab the cheetah than he. Okay, we're going to stop that analogy right now. Proceed.
That's a good idea. I'm going to go, actually, all jokes aside, for once, I don't know why I'm picking this. Okay, yeah, I do. I'm going with John Cena. I kind of feel like with the announcement of Hulk Hogan hosting WrestleMania, I could see an ending where you have Cena against Batista at WrestleMania 30, Cena wins, and you have Cena and Hogan kind of flexing, posing, giving each other that whole kind of mutual respect, admiration, love sort of deal. And, whether it's The Time Is Now or Real American playing at the end, but you've got that Hogan-Cena kind of rub, since they are two of the faces of the franchise over the last 30 years, and there haven't been very many of them.
That is true. I'm hoping for WrestleMania that we see, like, Austin do something with, not even a match. I just want to see, like, Steve Austin do something with The Rock. Just Steve Austin. Have Stone Cold do something that lasts more than 30 seconds.
That's a lot of stunners.
Yeah.
I mean, he could stun probably about 6 or 7 people in 30 seconds. Yeah. I mean, you can look back to, like, the Rumble and some of the other things.
I just want to see, like, Steve Austin, Edge, just a bunch of people.
All right, we're gonna go back to the phones here. We've got Chris from Jersey, I believe. Chris, what's going on?
Not much, buddy. I just want to say one thing, okay, about Hulk Hogan. He's bringing in with Jimmy Hart.
I don't know if they've said anything necessarily about Jimmy Hart. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they could go a number of different ways with it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Usually, whenever there's Hogan, there's Jimmy Hart, there's the Nasty Boys, there's you never know with Hogan. But I think at this point, because he's kind of coming in fresh, he's been with TNA the last few years, I don't think he necessarily is going to come in with the clout to bring in all of his buddies. At least I don't think so necessarily. Oh, you looked like you were ready to chime in. You had your finger on your own button there. I thought you were going to chime in something about Hogan's buddies.
What? Me, Hogan's buddy? That's Slug.
Well, I don't know, like Newkirk, or I figured you were going to go in that direction.
Only Newkirk I know is on Hogan's Heroes.
That's where I thought you were going to maybe go with that particular joke.
There's a Newkirk Avenue in Hamilton, near where I live. Does that count?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Good.
All right, we got a few minutes left here. Let's talk WWE Network, because they have announced their programming lineup. How juiced are you for some of these things, Luke? Have you seen any of this yet? Have you seen what the?
Yeah.
I know. Have you set your calendar to to what some of these things are going to be?
Countdown and NXT. I actually really want to see NXT because I want to see who could potentially be the next big thing.
I like how they I don't know if it was purposefully or not, but they have NXT and Superstars running head to head with Impact. I mean, maybe they just arbitrarily didn't think of it and figure that TNA is so insignificant at this point that it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But anything's possible. But I don't know. NXT, that's going to be Thursday nights at 9, starting Thursday, March 6th. They ran through a whole bunch of different things. Of course, WrestleMania 30 will be available on the network for all of your electronic digital devices and whatnot. They're going to be airing the Hall of Fame ceremony in its entirety. Yeah. Which that I think is going to be an interesting draw just because Jake Roberts was always noted for his promos. So, I mean, whatever he's going to be able to throw together for a Hall of Fame speech, that's going to be epic. And the unpredictable Ultimate Warrior, I don't know. There's probably got to be an over-under on the number of times that he mentions, either the gods, the heavens, parts unknown. Yeah, there can be a lot of fun to be had with that. Or for those above the age of 21, that might possibly be a drinking game. I don't know. Not that I condone or endorse that sort of thing, but let's be honest, that probably will happen. A live 30-minute Raw pre-show weekly premiering this Monday at 7:30. So kind of I don't know, are they going to do that kind of like the NFL does its pregame stuff, Sundays at noon before a 1 o'clock kickoff with all the talking heads in there? Probably do something like that. Same thing with the Raw Backstage Pass immediately after Raw with backstage interviews and analysis. It almost makes it sound like it's going to be a sports center for wrestling.
I'd like to see that.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Wrestling World or something like that, like Sports Center. Yeah.
They're calling it Backstage Pass, and they've got a similar one for SmackDown, 30 minutes pre-show for SmackDown, and then the Backstage Pass, and that'll be premiering this coming Friday. You've got the WrestleMania Rewind, which, I don't know, I might take that over the WrestleMania Anthology, as you had alluded to last week. Countdown, that should be interesting, and that'll spark quite a bit of debate, and I'm sure you'll come in here and be like, WWE Countdown said this, and I think it's this instead, and what do you think? And I'm sure there's going to be...
do in between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, something to talk about.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of network reaction. Actually, one of the things that I asked is of the listeners, are you getting the network when it rolls out this Monday? And if so, what's the first thing you're watching? Because there's all these different things. There's Beyond the Ring, which is the all-access pass to the home video library. Well, I mean, that doesn't premiere until next Saturday at 8 p.m. NXT, Superstars. Down the pike, you've got Legends House, basically like MTV's The Real World with Roddy Piper and Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Tony Atlas, those guys. But that's not coming until after Mania. The video on demand library, all the different pay-per-views. And I'll pull it up here with the Facebook feedback. I know we've only got about a minute or so, but we'll go ahead and see what some of your thoughts are. And of course, the Facebook. Why are you not? Oh, Dan chiming in. Why are you not as excited to see the network is going to be awesome? I don't know. Like I said, it could be just a winter blues thing. I could just have this like malaise about everything. I mean, even the Chamber, I'm just kind of going, meh. I don't know. Part of it, I think, is the fact that I don't really have time to watch any of this stuff. But I don't know. A few people throwing out a few different things. Old Nitros, classic Kurt Angle promos, old Raws, Nitros, SmackDown's Thunder, Armageddon. Eric from the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Armageddon 99. I see why you're throwing that out there. You're looking for a little Miss Kitty. I see what you did there. And Joseph chiming in wants to watch some of the early WCW pay-per-views and compare shows booker to booker. That's going to do it for me. Enjoy the Chamber. We'll talk about it next week here on Pro Wrestling Weekly, here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
1490 WBCB, Levittown, Fairless Hills, Trenton.